Now, a special fundraiser is taking place in Ennis this St. Stephen's night, bringing the local music community together for a very meaningful cause. The event is in memory of Ennis woman Anne Loftus, who sadly passed away in San Francisco and was brought home with the help of the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust. And to tell us more about the night and why this cause is so close to their hearts, I'm joined now by Gearoid Mannion, who we know very well, the Ennis travel counsellor who's involved with this. Gearoid, thank you so much for coming in.
Morning.
I suppose first, before we get to the event itself, can you tell us a bit about Anne Loftus and why it's so important to organise this event in her memory?
So, first of all, Anne Loftus from Ennis, she's a great friend of ours. And she lived in San Francisco for, on and off for 30 years, where she worked. And she, every time she came home, we met up with her. We've been friends with her since the 90s. And we used to hang out in O'Dee's pub, and we all still do. And we miss her very much in O'Dee's as well. But Anne from the Butter Market in Ennis, great Ennis family. The Loftuses, great townies. And they're extremely proud of Anne. And she tragically passed away in San Francisco some months ago, and the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust came to the rescue, and we're very grateful to them. But we're also very grateful to the Loftus family for allowing us to organise this gig in Anne's memory. So it's twofold, really. It's to remember Anne, and for those who couldn't make the funeral, and to have a good night out, just as she would like. If anyone who knows her, she constantly says this is what she would want us to do: have a great night, and don't be going home early, and this.
So you very much have Anne's seal of approval for this.
Oh, very much so, and that is why we always, every time we're talking about this and about her, we smile and laugh at that, because that was her way. She was very straight talking, and she put you in your place pretty quick if you had to be. And so she would love this. She loved being out with all the friends and having a few drinks and having the crack and going somewhere further rather than going home.
It sounds like from what you're saying, Gearoid, that despite the fact that Anne lived on the other side of the world, the west coast of America, she still managed to get home quite a bit and maintained close connections to all you guys back here in Clare.
She did indeed, and some went out to San Francisco to her, and indeed her sister Nolene as well, who's home now. And Nolene has been great support in this as well, and she's delighted we're doing it as well. And she's one of our gang of friends, very much so. And we're as I say, we're very thankful to the Loftus family for allowing us to do this as well. And we're also thankful to the Old Ground, Alan and all the staff at the Old Ground, for facilitating us on what is a premium night, Stephen's night.
Yeah, and as you say, you're grateful to Anne's family, but I'm sure they're grateful to all you guys for putting this together, because it's a sign of what their loved one meant to all of you, and the very positive impact she had on so many lives.
Indeed, she did, and she meant a lot to us and to the wider family as well. The Loftuses have lots of relatives, cousins, great circle of friends in the town in particular, and it's great. I mean, it's no bother at all to organise this. We're just delighted to be able to do it. We're honoured, and we know that on the night there'll be a lot of smiling going around, because we know that this is what Anne would want.
And the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust itself, Gearoid, we know from covering previous stories on the show involving Clare people who've been brought back, the logistically and just from an emotional point of view, they take so much off the shoulders of people at the moment in their lives when they're least equipped to deal with it.
Yes.
Because quite often a loved one will pass away suddenly abroad, and you're so devastated by the news, really, and that's understandable. You don't have time to think about the logistics, as I say, of getting somebody home. They take all of that off people's shoulders.
Yes, and as people have said in the past, it was practically one phone call. A phone call is made, they take all of the details, and they say, pretty much leave that to us now, we look after that. I mean, that's incredible to be able to do that. I don't know how the families of Ireland managed prior to the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust being established some years ago. Obviously, it's in memory of Kevin Bell, who did pass away abroad, and his family struggled with the repatriation, and they had a fundraiser, and they probably ended up with some funds left over or whatever. They decided, okay, what are we going to do with this? We'll set up a trust and provide this service to other people, and it has been invaluable to numerous families around the entire island of Ireland. They're based in Newry, but they serve the full country, and indeed, only this year, two people, Anne Loftus and Olivia Toohey, as you will recall, you probably covered it here. Olivia Toohey was from Ennis, a nurse working in Edinburgh, and she passed away tragically, having done the Edinburgh half marathon some months ago. So two families from the town of Ennis in the space of 10 months or whatever that is. That's amazing, and that's probably being replicated across the country in towns and villages across Ireland.
Yeah, they do so much incredible work, Ro, but I think that we're going to talk about the event you're having on Stephen's Night now, and it is, like in the other stories we've heard of families who've been helped out by the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust when they most needed it. They quite often, there's that element of paying it forward. They don't ask anything of you except that, I suppose, you'll do a good turn for someone, and quite often those who've benefited from the trust will raise money for them to keep it going so that others can benefit.
That's exactly it, yeah. And if you go on their website, they have a very simple and straightforward website, very informative. You will see that there are others doing fundraisers around the country as well. And, one presumes that they are the relatives and friends of deceased people who were repatriated by Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust. So it's great to see people giving back, and, we're just delighted to be able to do it. We have... So it's Stephen's Night, the Old Ground Hotel, from 9:30 or 10 o'clock onwards. And we have a couple of different bands, but we're particularly excited to have the Kilmaley Rowing Club. No, they're not a Kilmaley Rowing Club. They're a rock band. But these guys are...
They're not even a rowing club, masquerading as a moonlighting as a band?
Yeah, we're very disappointed that there'll be no rowing on the night. Well, I don't know. Do you remember back in the day?
As long as there's no rowing
either. Thing on the floor. Do you remember the DJ?
Oh yeah, rock the boat.
Rock the boat. There will be no rocking the boat. We'll be rock and rolling all right, but I know these guys are really good. They're all in their 20s. They're all from the Kilmaley area. 3 siblings and 2 of their friends, Jude and Fionn, and they play some really heavy duty rock and roll. We're absolutely excited to have them. They're an exciting young 5-piece, and they do stuff by Led Zeppelin, Cream, the Chili Peppers, that kind of stuff. So plenty of rock, just the way we like it. And we also have Trevor Hansbury and his band of friends. They don't have a band name, but they're put together for the night. I made a few suggestions for band names to Trevor, and he looked at me with disdain.
Well, look, if Trevor's at the forefront of it, it's bound to be quality.
There you go, 100%. Yeah, so we're delighted, and it's great to give young bands an opportunity as well. They may be young, but these guys are good. They really know how to do it, and they've had a couple of gigs around in the pubs, more or less. So this will be one of their probably bigger gigs, I suppose. But
I suppose great for them, Gro, that you as you say, they're getting an opportunity to play, but I'm sure they're only too delighted to help out in a cause like this, so it's win-win for all concerned. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. And I mean, remember way back in the day when, some of our friends were involved with bands, they were just gagging for somebody to give them a go in, whether it was Galleries, Brandon's, the Banner Arms, wherever it was at the time. So it's great to keep that going, and we're delighted to have the Kilmaley Rowing Club rocking it out.
Lovely stuff. So lots of brilliant music by the sounds of it. Anything else happening on the night that people should be aware of other than a fantastic atmosphere and entertainment? Well,
we're it's tenner on the door to get in, but we're also hoping that people will make donations to the Kevin Bell Trust if they can't make it on the night. And we have on our social media, we have there's a link to an online donation platform, 100% secure, and there's also a QR code on our posters if anyone sees it, or you find it online, to make a donation if they can't make it on the night, and they can give as little or as much as they want, just to support the cause.
For you and for others who are close to Anne, has this helped with the sense of loss and the grief in a way to channel your energies into this night of remembrance for her, as well as an important fundraiser for the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust?
Yes, very much so. Obviously the funeral, when it did happen, was particularly sad for everybody concerned, naturally. So at this remove some months later, it's great to be able to get back together again, for those of us who'll be there on the night, and remember Anne, have a good night, and in a kind of a lighter mood, I suppose you could say, and we're really looking forward to it, and we have a nice little committee organising it, and big shout out to Anya and Richie and John Hanrahan, who is, as we say, herding the musicians. And my wife Michelle is helping out with social media as well, so we're delighted, and Anne Loftus has been great support to us.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Look, it sounds like it's a great night in store, great night to have it as well. Stephen's night too. Should be a lot of people around. It's for a very, very good cause, as you've just heard. And if you can't be there on the night, and do donate to the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust, or as Gearoid says, there's a link to the event online as well. Gearoid, hope it's absolutely packed to the rafters.
Me too.
Because it'll be a huge benefit to the Kevin Bell Repatriation Trust, but as well, sounds like it'll be good crack. Gearoid Mannion, happy Christmas to you, and thanks so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you, Alan.